Hi everyone, welcome to Job Viewer. So today we are going to explore new feature of Java 8, which is optional class. It is very important according to the interview. So we will see various questions according to interview scenario. Okay, so firstly we are going to touch what is optional class and example of null pointer exception. Okay, how to resolve null pointer exception, static methods in optional class, non-static methods in optional class, and coding questions of optional class. So we are going to touch all these questions, so we'll cover one by one. So let's get started. So what is optional class? Okay, every Java programmer is familiar with null pointer exception. I think you know what is null pointer exception. It is very common thing if in programming. If you are doing any programming, and you will get null pointer exception. That means the if a value is null, you are trying to do some calculation, or like a string is null, you are trying to do string dot length. Okay, so in that scenario you will get null pointer exception. It can crash your code, and it is very hard to avoid it without using too many null checks. Okay, so mm, to overcome this, Java 8 introduced a new class optional in Java.util package. It can help in, so optional is there in Java.util package. It can help in writing a neat code without using too many null checks. By using optional, we can specify alternate values to return a alternate code to run. This makes the code more readable because the facts which were hidden are now visible to the developer. Okay, so null pointer exception we can handle with the help of the optional class. Okay, so because of that, Java introduced optional class in Java 8, which is very important feature. Okay, so we'll see one by one. Okay, optional is a container object which may or may not contain a null value. Okay, so it may contain null, it may not contain null. So you must import Java tutorial package, use this package. So it is available in Java tutorial package, so you have to import. Okay, while working, if a value is present, okay, then will return true. Okay, so each parent will return true. It is one of the method of non-static method of optional class. So if value is present, it will return true. An additional method that depends on the presence or absence of content value are provided, such as or else. So also or else method is also there. So if value is null, then it will print the default value. Okay, so we'll see all example for all the methods one by one. So which returns a default value if the value is not present. If present, which execute a block of code if value is present. Okay, so these are the examples of Java 8 methods. Okay, is present, which will return boolean, or else it will you can provide default value. Okay, and if present, if value if is present, then it will return some code, some line of code. But we almost we have 10 to 15 method. Okay, inside the optional class, so we'll see one by one, so no need to worry. So this is null point exception. So how can you get null point exception? One small example is there. So this is the string array. Okay, string array 10, we have 10 string inside the array. And what we are doing here, word 5 dot lowercase, we are operating words 5 to lowercase. So because we haven't assigned any value inside this array string, so we are trying to fetch the value which is available at fifth place, so which is null. Okay, and if you do null dot lowercase, then what we'll get, we'll get here null pointer exception. So here we are getting null pointer exception. Okay, so exception is set java dot lang dot null pointer exception np exception. So how can we avoid? In normal scenario you can do null check. Okay, if it is not null, then please do your operation. Okay, but after Java 8 onward, we can do like this. See, so there is possibility to get null. Okay, in words. Words is a array of a string. So you can use of nullable. Okay, there is of nullable and nullable. Okay, so if you are thinking that means that you may get the null, then you can use of nullable method. If you are 100% sure, that means you will not get any exception, you will not get any null value, then you can use of off is also there. Okay, off and off null level. There are two methods in uh, optional class. So off and off null level both are static method. Okay, so with that of the off null level, so we are making it off null level and storing into the null check. Okay, we are checking null. If null check is present, okay, that means that if check null is present, that means it will return true. Okay, true in case of if value is present, and it will return false in value if value is not present. So here value is not present, so it will execute what is null instead of throwing any null pointer exception. Okay, so if value will be presented, then if block will be executed. Okay, so in this scenario, it will calculate the it will provide the lower case of word 5. Okay, word 5, that means it will fetch one string and it will convert into lower case, and it will print that string in lower case. Okay, so like this we can handle null pointer exception with the help of optional class. Okay. Mm, let's move for the another example. To avoid abnormal termination, we use the optional class. In the following example, we are using optional, so our program are execute without crashing. Okay, so our program will not crash because we are using the optional class to perform null check. Okay, so here output will be our what is null instead of null pointer exception. In previous scenario, we got null pointer exception. Okay. So we are going to see some method available, which is available in Java. Sorry, optional class. So these are the three methods, static methods, which is available in optional class. First will be the empty and off null level. So before we seen off null level. Okay. So off, that means the if you are not sure, that means that you may get the exception. Okay, so in this scenario you should use off null level. If you are sure, that means you will not get any exception, then in this scenario you can use off. Okay, returns an option with the specified present null value. Okay, non null value. Okay, that means that you will not get null. In the scenario you can use off, and there is a possibility that means that you can get null, then you should use null exception off null level method. Okay, and empty, that means the return empty value. Okay, returns an empty optional instance. So these are the three static methods. So all are very important. This is a very important question according to the interview. That means what is the difference between off and off null level. So please be careful while understanding. Okay, so now going to move so in this we are going to see non-static method which is present in optional class. So these are the non-static method. So some of the method are related to just equals method. Okay, it is very common method. Hash code method. Okay, twisting method. Okay, so I think everybody know these are familiar. All are familiar with all these methods. So filter, that means in Steam API we use filter to filter the things. Okay, and it will take one predicate and it will return boolean value true and false. Okay, so it's the same like, and flat map also it we use it to flatten the data. Okay, so it will be also same like Steam API. And map is there, so map we use to map in also we use in Steam API to map any object. If you want to multiply into two, or if you want to add anything, okay, with your object, then in that scenario you can use map. Okay, so and we have to understand get. So get we use in optional to fetch the value. Okay, so this is the method of non-static method of optional class. So it value is present in the value, then return the value, otherwise throw null, no such element exception. Okay, so in case of get, if present, okay, so it will take consumer. Okay, and consumer. Okay, and it if the value is present, invoke the specified consumer with the value, otherwise do nothing. Okay, in case of if present, and is present, that means the it will return true and false. If value is available, it will return true. If not available, then it will return false. Okay, so this is also a very important question. What is the difference between if present and is present? Okay, and there is a or else get, and or else throw. Okay, so or else, that means that if value is null, then in scenario you can print the default value. Okay, return the value if present, otherwise return other value. That means that will be the default value. So we'll see an example. We are going to do some coding, then you will easily, then you will understand easily. Or, and we have or else throw. Okay, so if it is, well, if value is null, then in that scenario you can throw exception. In case of or else throw method, okay, it will take supplier, and there is or else get. So it will take supplier and returns the value if present, otherwise invoke other and return the result of that invocation. Okay, so these are the method, of common method in non-static method in optional class. Okay, so I think you understood everything, uh, theoretical part. So we'll do the coding part, then you can easily understand. So we are going to do coding part. Okay, so it will be easy to understand. So what is optional class and internals of optional class? So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to remove all these things. Okay, we'll do one by one. Do some POC. Firstly, we'll try to see optional class. Okay, so there is an optional class. Look, I'm going to open. I will see the code behind the optional class. See, this is the optional class. Okay, it's a final class. Okay, so in this optional class we have empty method. Okay, so empty is a static method, and we have off method. Okay, this is a static method, just now we seen. Okay, if it is mandatory, if you know, that means you will not get null value, then in that scenario you can get use off. Okay, so there is off nullable. Okay, if you have doubt, that means that you may get the exception null value, then in that scenario you can use off nullable. Okay, you have get method, we have is present method, is empty method. These are other non-static. Okay, if present or else. Okay, filter. So map method, we have flat map, we have, or we have stream, or else get. Okay, or else throw. I think we have seen all the methods equals. Okay, hash code method to generate a hash code, to a string method to print to a string format. Okay, equals method to check value wise. So we have all these method. Okay, so I think just now we discussed everything, so it will be easy to understand if you see the code. So we are going to start coding to understand optional class. So going to take one string which is sort of, rather than going to take a random name. Okay, let's print let's print length is out. Okay, so if you'll do str dot length, okay, so you'll get the length here. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do null. Okay, null. So what we will get here, so let's print. So we'll get here null pointer exception, we are getting here. Okay, because in str we have null value, and we're trying to we are trying to find length of this str, so which is null. So if you perform any operation on null, then we'll get null pointer exception. So how can we handle with the help of the optional class? So we'll see. So how can we do? So there is a possibility to get null. Okay, with our str, so we'll put this str inside of nullable. Okay, we have of nullable, just now we seen. So how can we do? We have optional class. So of nullable is a static class of nullable. So we can call this class name dot of nullable. Okay, you know, we can call a static method will have the class name. So we have three static method, empty, of, and of nullable. So we are going to change of nullable, because this string may get null value. Okay, so we have of nullable. Now we are going to store these values inside optional. Okay, and type will be a string and str. We are going to make it optional str. Okay, that means the optional string. Okay, so now what we are going to do here, optional str we have. Okay, so based on this optional str we can uh, put some condition. Okay, condition, that means the if it is null, if it is present. Okay, like let's start it. This is our condition. optional str, okay, dot we have is present, which will return boolean value. Okay, that means something is there in optional str, that means null value is not present. Okay, then here it will return true. If not null value is not present, then what we can do here, we can perform our operation, which is calculating the length. Okay, and if it is not present, okay, that means if there is a null value, then what we can do here, we can simply print, that means the value is null. Okay, like str is null or it is empty. Okay, so like this we can do. So let's run and check, are we getting, so we are getting str is empty because our str is empty. Here we are not getting any null pointer exception because we are checking first, if something is there inside optional str, then please calculate str dot length and then return. Okay, if it is not there, if null is there, then it will return else condition, which is str is empty. So let's try with some value. So we should get value. I'm going to provide the name. I'm going to run. Yeah, so here we are getting 11. Yeah, so we are getting length of this string. Okay, so it's working correct. We will use here off. Okay, let's check with off because we have provided Saurabh Ras, okay, inside the string. That means we will not get any null value. Okay, so we are going to use here off. So we can use off if you are 100% sure, that means you are not going to get any null value inside a string. So let's run with off. So with that of off also we are getting the good result. Okay, so we can, if you are confident, that means they will not get any null value, then you can use off. If you are not confident, that means you may get null value, then in that scenario you have to use off nullifier. Okay, and there is a empty method. Okay, empty method of static method. So we'll see what is there inside. So it will normally print, we'll see what all method one by one. Empty optional dot empty. Okay, so we'll store inside. Okay, so this will make empty. Let's print empty str, what we are getting sys out. So we are going to print empty str. So let's print, let's see what will get. Okay, so we are getting optional dot empty. Okay, so empty is one of the static method which print only empty value. Okay, so there is nothing inside empty. If you see the empty, then what we will get, let's check empty. So here it's returning empty only. So what is in there inside empty, so it's getting new optional value. Okay, and it's with null. Okay, we will say normally it's returning null. Okay, so it's returning the empty value. Okay, in case of optional dot empty. Okay, so we'll see the code of off, what is there inside off. So there is a condition. Okay, we are getting value here, so it's checking required null. Okay, so what it is there, if it is null, that means it's returning null pointer exception, but it is not null, so it's throwing the value, returning the value. Okay, so in case of the off, if value will not be present, then it will throw null pointer exception. If present, then it will throw value. Okay, so let's check one thing. So we are using off here and we are going to make null, so we should get null pointer exception. Okay, so let's check with null and we are using off. Okay, in this condition, because string is null, so we should use here off null label, but we are going to use off with null. Let's see what will happen. It should throw null pointer exception. Let's check once. So here we are getting null pointer exception because our the method which method implementation of which is written like that, that means that if null value is there, then please return null point exception. If null is not there, then return value. Okay, so we are getting null point exception. For handling this, we can use of nullable. Okay, of nullable. Okay, because you will, if you will get null, so in this scenario you will get str dot empty. Okay, so let's run and check again. So we'll get str is empty. So this is the way we can use of nullable of an empty. Okay, if you see the code of nullable, so what let's see, this is of nullable, so we are getting value. So there is condition value equal to null. So if value equal to null, then return, it will return empty. If not, then new optional, and then value, it will return new optional with of nullable. So this is the code inside of nullable. Okay, now let's do if present. Okay, there is two method, one is present and another is if present. So each present will return true and false boolean value, and there is present which will so let's check is present. So we have optional str. Okay, so we are going to use this optional str. So we are going to print this null empty. Okay, we have optional str dot is present, is not, we are going to use if present. Okay, so it will take consumer. Okay, so we are going to write consumer code like sys out. Okay, and we are going to print value. Okay, which is available inside str. So so here we are going to, this is taking supplier. Okay, consumer, so consumer will take input and it will return nothing. Okay, so here we have to provide x. Okay, then it will match with function interface, and now we are going to print here x. Okay, so let's print and check. So let's print and check. Okay, so we are getting str is empty. Okay, because why we are getting str empty, because here it is null. So we are going to provide here value which is Saurabh Raj. So let's Saurabh Raj, let's print, let's run and check what we are getting. Okay, so we are getting Saurabh Raj, print value Saurabh Raj we are getting here. Okay, so if something is present, if present, okay, then please return, we are printing here same value. Okay, so we are getting Saurabh Raj. Okay, and 11 we are getting because of this statement. Okay, so I think you understood what is difference between is present and if present. Okay, and we see in the all static method which is inside optional. So now we are going to see some method like map. There is a map method, there is a filter method, there is or else method or all else throw. So we are going to see. So what, firstly we are going to see or else method. So there is optional dot str dot, okay, or else. Okay, so see here there is a or else. So it will take a string. We are going to provide some default value. Okay, which will be default, going to write default value. Okay, if something is null, then it will print default, going to print sys out. Okay, and optional str yeah, so we are printing here optional str or else default value. So we are going to, so for in case in our case our str is sort of, but we are going to make it null. With null we'll check, and then we'll check its value. Okay, so going to run, we'll check the what will be the value. So here we are getting default value. Okay, so if it is, if your string is null, so we are getting a default value. Okay, so this is the case of or else. Okay, so it's working properly. So if there is something in a string, okay, let's make it again sort of. Okay, and then check, so it should print sort of instead of default value. Okay, so this is the advantage of or else. Okay, so let's run again. Okay, so we are getting sort of. Okay, so if value is present, we are getting value. If value is not present, then we are getting the so default value. So this is the advantage of or else method, which is inside optional class. Okay, so let we are going to again print which is we are going to use, which is of or else throw. Okay, so or else throw, there is a different method. So from there what we can do, so if you see the of else throw is taking supplier on another, it's taking supplier. Okay, string and supplier, there is a overloaded method. We are going to return new exception value is empty. We are getting here the method all else so not applicable argument exception, so it should be supplier, so it should take input and it should return, it should not return anything. So now it's a matching, we're not getting any exception, so we have written lambda expression. Okay, so now it should throw exception which is value is empty. Okay, so let's print in this case value is empty. So let's run and print what we are getting here. So we are getting sort of. Okay, we are getting two times sort of because one time sort of due to this default value. Okay, and this we are getting because of this or else, because value is not empty. Okay, so we are getting sort of. Okay, if value will be empty, let's comment first one, then we'll check sort of. We'll make it sort of Raj, and let's run again and we'll check Raj. Yeah, we are getting sort of Raj. So because value is not empty, so it's printing. If value will be empty, then we'll get new exception. Okay, so let's make it null and then check what we are getting. So yep, made it null. So let's run again, we'll check. So we are getting here value is empty. Okay, Java.lambda exception, because you are throwing exception if value is empty. Okay, so we can, this is the difference between the or else and or else throw. In first scenario you can provide the default value, and second scenario you can throw the exception if anything is null, of if it is not according to the expectation. So like this we can do. So let's, now we have map method, filter method. So we'll see all these inside example. So we're going to take a one array dot as list. Okay, so we are going to take array of name. Okay, like we're going to take Ravi in the case and files. Okay, so I'm taking an array of, I'm taking list. Okay, a string of list. Okay, I'm going to store inside list of a string list. Okay, control shift O. So we have list of name. Okay, so I'm going to do some perform some operation. Okay, which is related to stream API to understand how map is working, how filter is working. Okay, inside stream API, and how option is also working in stream API. So we have list. Okay, so how can we make it stream? So list dot stream. So we are going to find we are going to perform some sorting operation. So we are going sorted. So we have for sorting with sorted. Okay, and comparator dot comparing. Okay, so we compare with x comparator comparing, and dot, we are going to take find first. There is a method which will return optional of a string. Okay, and find any find first. So we are going to find first. So firstly it will so your list of string will be sorted in ascending order, and then it will find the first element. Okay, so let's run and check find first. So what will be the return type of this find first? So it's returning optional. So let's make it optional of string, because this will be the return type. So copy from optional of string from here and here. Yeah, so output will make it output. Yeah, so it should sys out. Sys out output. Let's run and check. So we are getting here phase. Okay, so what is happening here? So we have list of names. So phase will be first. Okay, second will be the Rakesh, and then third will be the Rakesh. So it will make it in ascending order. Okay, so we are getting in ascending order, and we are picking the first one. So find first, and which will be the type of first find first will be the optional. Okay, so now we are able to, if we want to fetch anything, like just now we seen there's a get method inside the optional class. Okay, so we can use the get method to fetch the value. So see, there is a get method in optional class. So get, so we'll get here, if you use output dot get, then you will get fetch inside fetch. Output will be fetch, because now we are getting optional and we are getting fetch. So if you are getting if you are fetching output dot get, then you will get only fetch. So let's run and check. Yeah, so we are getting here fetch. So this is the work of get method, which is inside static, which is inside optional class. Okay, so let's perform some more operation, which is map method. Okay, so there is a map method. Okay, inside optional class. So we are going to make it lowercase. Okay, so because we are getting phase in camel case, we are going to make it uppercase. So how can we do x dot to uppercase? So now phase should be in uppercase. Okay, so let's run and check, are we getting phase in uppercase or not? Yeah, we are getting phase in uppercase. So map is also working good. So there is a method inside optional class, which is map. So we use map is to map our object. So we have a string, so we are making it camel making it uppercase from camel case. Okay, so we are getting here phase. So now we have filter. So what we can do after map, we can do filter. So in filter, it will take predicate and return true and false. So we can make like x, we can take condition like x dot phase. Okay, so we have equals ignore case. So let's check phase. Okay, phase. Okay, we are going to check. So if phase is available inside our string, okay, then it should return here true and false. Okay, value is true or false. Okay, so let's print what is happening here, because here it will return true and false. So let's run, because we have phase inside out, so we are getting phase. Okay, so we will get phase if value is available, then we will get phase. Okay, if it is not available, then what we will get? So we are going to make it phase 1. Okay, then let's run and check. So in this scenario, we will get no value present. Okay, no such exception, no such element exception. If value is present, then we will get the value. If value is not present, then we will get no such element present. Okay, so this is the work of filter method in filter and map method inside optional class. Okay, so let's check thing. I hope you are loving my video. So you understood everything. If there is any doubt, so you can comment on a platform form, so we can discuss. Okay, so if there is any doubt, if there is no any doubt, then it's so good. So thanks for watching, and bye everyone.